Hey everybody out there in YouTube land, it is me, the solitary toker, or it is I, that would be proper English, the solitary toker, coming to you on a 1:47 Thursday afternoon. Come and hang out with me. Well, let's see what's been going on with me. Oh yeah, my one dog, my old lady, must have gotten kind of grumpy about something because she bit my other dog, my young boy, and maybe he deserved it, who knows. So I just spent 3 hours in the vet last night, not because he needed that much work, but because it was that long of a wait, because they had a bunch of emergencies and stuff. So he got stapled up and is doing pretty well. I applied for a job to work at the dispensary where I get my herb at, and I didn't get it mostly because she said that they need somebody with a more flexible schedule, and since I'm traveling so much this summer, it wasn't going to work out. But that would have been really cool, but whatever. And what else has been going on? It's just, I have a final exam a week from today, and I'm not prepared for it. And I set out a study, I set out an email to all the other students in the class saying, hey, let's get together and do a study group. But I had written the message before I sent it, and I had said, let's get together Thursday or Friday, which was already today and tomorrow. And so it's kind of like, I'm trying to get together with some people, but people are not really emailing me back, and so it's kind of like, all right, well, whatever. So yeah, so I'm really probably gonna spend this weekend doing, just review, studying, flashcards, reading, and just. So I'm really looking forward to this class being over, and I think I've talked about the class before, so I won't go into it. But it's been a little bit of a drag. So, and then I have another final, I think, like in the same week for my philosophy class. So it's kind of like, so it's like I just want to chill and smoke pot and kind of like not sweat about it, but it's like I can do that enough, once class is over, then I won't have anything, restricting my schedule. But since it's, I've got maybe 2 hours before I have to go walk the dogs and run errands and stuff. And so for the next 2 hours, I can just toke and veg and chill. And I went, and here's my jar of herb and I actually won a joint from the dispensary. They said, do you want to do some trivia? And I said, sure. And she said, pick a category. And I said, entertainment, of course. And so she said something like, what's the British rock group that came out with the album named Parachutes? And I was like, oh, that's Coldplay, And so she's like, all right, I just put a joint in your jar. And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I don't really smoke joints because, you're burning it, and so you're getting more carcinogens. And I'm concerned about throat cancer, mouth cancer, all kinds of things. I actually should be using my water pipe more often. But the problem with using the water pipe, other than just toking out of the whip, this is the water pipe extension. It goes into the bong, and then you're like this. You can see on my old videos. But the problem with the water pipe is that I can't taste the herb as well as when, because the water is acting, and the ice is acting as a filter. So the herb will be totally burnt in the bowl and just totally done. And, like some people can really hit bowl after bowl after bowl after bowl. And it's just like, I don't like to do that. I like the green taste of the herb, I like the fresh stuff. So it's like, I'll take this bowl, and it's not even that much. It's about half a bowl, just under a half a bowl. And I'll smoke maybe 4 long hits off it, and then I'll just discard it and do another. Now, true, I live out in Northern California where like herb is like the key. So it's like, it's all over the place. Now, for some people who can't get herb that often, or they get it illegally, and they may have different ideas about what they should do with their herb. I don't know. But I mean, for me, I don't want to be sucking on that burnt carcinogen kind of sensation, and I just don't want to taste that. So anyway, here's the vaporizer, and it's totally broken. Like the knob's gone, the screen broke. You know, it's like all the little things on the bottom are stuck. There's like crap on it, so it's totally like on its last legs. But I might not smoke this summer anyway. I may take a summer off, so we'll just see how it goes. But I seriously need to change out my whip though. Look how brown it's getting. It's so brown. Oh, and usually you won't be able to see what I exhale because again, I'm steaming the herb with the vaporizer. It's so much healthier. It's so much tastier. Oh my God, I love it. So if you see me go, and yet nothing comes out, that's just because the camera isn't picking up the vapor. And you want to know something else? A little silly little thing. This little African violet, it was pretty much dead. And it doesn't like the direct sunlight. Oh, that's better. Yeah. I basically took my water pipe, my bong water, after toking a couple of rounds, and I poured it consistently over my plant, and it came back. It was really cute. My dog just laid down in the grass outside. Really cute. Oh, it's already tasting a little burnt. Where's my thingy? There it is. And yet they're not in there. Why aren't they in there? Are they in the box? Excusez-moi. Where's the box? All the way in the back of the chair. Yeah. Nope, they're not there either. I must have left them in my bedroom. Oh well. I was looking for one of my really long needles that I use to clean out the bottom of the whip when it gets brown. But as I said, we'll just discard that since it's all brown and sticky. Let's see. So I could clean out the inside a little bit better, but... And there's this big, like, crack going down the side of my whip head. See that? And I'm just waiting for the thing to snap in two, you know? Like the crack even goes like horizontally here and vertically there. I'm just like, one more smack of this thing. But it's gotten smacked around a little bit and it hasn't broken yet, so it's kind of bizarre. Anyway, what was I talking about? Let's see, yeah. It would have been really cool to be able to work at the dispensary over the summer. That would have been a lot of fun. But you know, and the funny thing is I really wanted to be a bud tender, which is the kind of the thing that person is out for. So I guess I didn't really know what I was applying for. But then when she told me what I was applying for, which is mostly a gopher, an intern, like that does filing and data entry and stuff like that. And I was like, are you kidding? Like that's like I excel at that stuff. I mean, that would be a total cakewalk, you know? So I'm sorry. I mean, she called me and she's like, yeah, we just need somebody who's going to be more flexible with their hours because my school isn't done until May 12th and they're starting next week. So it's like, it's too bad they couldn't have waited a week for me, but you know, it's all right. Whatever. I was talking about something else, but I don't recall. Stoner ramble. Smashed my iPad the other day. Poor, sad little thing. Now it's living in packaging tape. I was just like, really? It's a disappointment because the people who made this case had like this was like a newer version of the case. And actually the newer version wasn't as good as the original. And I actually, wonder if it would have broken if it was in the other case. I mean, it's still all the same materials. It's not one of those hard plastic OtterBox things, but it would have just been cool to have had the new case be the more protective one. So, but I won't play on the iPad. That was like really counterproductive when I posted a video and I'm sitting like this for 10 minutes or something, just randomly talking. And I'm like, people don't want to watch videos of like the side of my face while I tap and do random shit, you know? So maybe it was a sign. I'm just watching my dog. I want to make sure he's not, no lick. You leave it. Is it too hot out there? Are you coming inside? Hey, right here. Ranger man. Right here, buddy. Right here. Hi. Oh, yeah. Well, you can't really see him. Hi. What's up, Range? Ranger. Ranger. What's up, buddy? Can you sit? No, he's restless. He's wandering around. Rangers. He doesn't know what he wants to do. Hi. Can you come here? Good boy. Get that fly. There's shit that's been going on in the family. Not negative stuff, just I say shit just because it is. It's just been like, it's just kind of stuff that you have to deal with. I don't know if I did a video about this or not. So I've been trying to take my niece this summer. I think I did. I talked about it a little bit. To a train trip from like Scotland to England, and stopping and seeing castles and stuff like that. Yeah, hi, buddy. Yeah, you're just fine. It's a good boy. Go lay down. Yeah. Or get the fly. I loathe trapped flies. Bzzz. Trying to get out, can't finding their way. Sometimes my dogs would go blink and like grab it and just eat it, and I'm like, yeah. So now every time there's a fly trapped in my house, I want them to do that. Eat the fly, go get the fly, and there goes my iPad again. Anyway, so when it came time for me to ask my sister, like, are you gonna pay for her airfare like you said you would? And she's like, no, I don't think the trip is a good idea. Maybe we should just cancel it, you know, kind of like, but all from an attitude of, not me, she, I have a say. And it's kind of funny to me because really she doesn't. My niece is 20 years old. She's an adult. She can make her own decisions legally. And she wants to go. She's excited. She's like almost crying. She's so excited. And my brother-in-law is kind of worried that, I have talked about this on a video before, is kind of worried that I'm going to influence her in some kind of negative fashion. And the funny thing is that my niece actually called me today. And we actually had a human conversation. I mean, it was pretty cool. We were both driving and we were both on our cell phones, so the connection wasn't great. But get the fly. No, he went back outside. But it was just kind of like we were chatting and we were just kind of both excited and talking about it. And then we talked about random stuff like her college, my college, you know, I should say her university, my college and my university. But I mean, so it was just really nice. So I'm really excited about this trip, but it's just funny because my sister thinks that she has control over the situation, you know? I told her, she's like, yeah, if it's too expensive, we should just cancel the trip. And I'm like, Don't worry about it. I'll pay for everything. We're not canceling the trip. And she's like, well, I think we should think about it. She was like totally trying to like keep control of the conversation and keep the conversation in a mode of, I'm telling you what's happening. Like that she was telling me what's happening. And I'm just like, well, I think my niece should be here for this conversation. And she said, I don't. And I was like, I was so close to just like texting my niece and being like, just so you know, your mom is trying to stall or stop the trip, but then my sister got into how stressed she'd been and how she's dealing with prom and she's got all this stuff on her plate. She kept saying that, I've got all this stuff on my plate. And it's like, it's kind of funny. I mean, true. I mean, I don't have no idea what being a mom of 3 grown children is like, and they're so involved in sports and just all kinds of things. So I'm sure she's extremely busy. But the funny thing about people who overschedule themselves, they do it because they don't know what to do with themselves when they're not doing something. A lot of people in this country don't know how to be alone. They don't know how to be in their own company, I mean, and true, there's times where I'm like, oh, it's Friday night, I should go do something, because my friend's, she's busy with her fiance right now, and I've got friends back in Michigan, so it's like there's not a lot of people that I can be like, let's go to a bar, let's go clubbing. So it's like we go out, but we have to kind of schedule it. Random, where did I go? I was talking about my sister. Anyway, it's just interesting to me because a lot of times, I can tell when my sister is being sincere. When she'll say, that's something else that we're saying lately is we'll say, honestly, we'll say the word in this sincere way, like, and say your name. Like if your name was John, I'd say, honestly, John, and then I'd tell you everything that I thought. Like, this is how I feel exactly. But there was a time in the conversation, and I don't even remember the topic. I don't even remember what it was that she was saying. I just remember going, that is not true. No, I don't believe you on that one. I think you're totally trying to fudge me over, or like pull the wool over my eyes, or you're totally trying to bullshit me right there. No. And I could have done something, but she just got finished telling me how stressed she was. So it's like, I'm such a caring and tolerant person. It's like my brother will totally cut me off and he's like, I don't need to know that, Deb. I already know that. I just said my name. I don't need to know that, dude. And fly, cat, you're supposed to be a hunter, not a lazy ass sleeper. Get the fly. Fly is so annoying. Stoner ramble. Anyway, I'm going to smoke one more bowl and then I'm going to turn this off. But my brother will cut me off and he'll be really just, unfeeling about his words, because he's in a place, he's getting divorced. He's in a place where he is just, he can't even stop and be like, I should talk to my sister better, so I'm being accepting of that and I'm tolerating it. And I'm being patient on how he treats me. I'm being a good sister. But then it's like, whenever I try and call them on shit, both my brother and sister then say that I'm making drama. And it's like, no, I'm trying to tell you how I feel. If you speak from the heart, you can't go wrong. I mean, if, you look at someone, see, that's the problem with the technology and the communications, the emails and the texting. We're losing something. We need to have that person-to-person connection to where you're literally sitting in each other's energy. There's so many times where my family has told me that my emails and my texts sounded grumpy or brisk or, aloof or emotional. And I'm just kind of like, that's not how I wrote it. So I even said to my brother, let's just not text and let's just like, I'm almost there, I'll be there in 5, kind of like a informational thing. Let's just not communicate by texting. He's probably forgotten that by now, but he's having a divorce. He's in the middle of, I mean, my sister-in-law used to be the sweetest thing. You know, she used to be such a warm, wonderful, loving girl. And she would say that it's all my brother's fault, that he ruined the last 12 years of her life. And she has said this. And, you know, and she's turned into such a hard and unforgiving woman. And it's just kind of like, we're all like, whoa, what the fuck? It's been several years where we're just kind of playing catch up, and we've all been talking about her and why she's acting this way. Like, she's imbalanced somehow. And it's too late. I mean, but my brother, I try and listen to him. He's like, man, I just got in a fight with Amy, and he's got a vent. And then he'll tell me something where he said fuck you to his wife. Not true. His wife had been screaming out the window, I fucking hate you. You know, fuck you. And it's like, oh, you know, and where his 5-year-old children could hear that. You know, seriously, used to be a very warm, loving person. Now it's just this wretch. She's a shrew. And so then my brother, she like tried to come into the garage and talk to him about something. And hey brother, how you doing? And he must know I'm talking about him. I must be sending out energy. I'm trying not to get derailed. So she became this shrew. And so he's venting to me, and I told him, I said, I will always listen, talk, I will listen. But then as he's telling me things, it's like, I have all this advice I want to give him. I want to help. You know, I'm a sage woman. I'm a medicine woman. I'm a wise woman. Let me give you some advice. Don't tell your wife to fuck off. She can use that in a courtroom. Are you fucking kidding me? Because he said, you know, fuck you. I'm mad at you. I don't want to talk to you right now. And it was like, wandered off. But I'm like, so I tried to say it as carefully as I could, like that I was just trying to give him loving support. And I said, just be aware of the language that you use. And it came back like, I don't need your advice. Like, I have lawyer advice. I pay for legal consult. Don't give me advice. Don't give me advice. And I'm like, okay, I hear you, but just know that that's really hard for me. You know, I love you. I want to help you. You know, he's like, don't give me advice. And I'm like, I can't promise anything. I'll try to work on it. See, here's me willing to try and work on a behavior in order to facilitate things for a loved one. Old soul. So it's just funny. I mean, we're all in our 40s now. My sister, my brother, and I'm the middle. We're all in our 40s. And I realized from my sister's conversation, and it's funny, I kind of, okay, hang on. Yeah, it's just a reminder text. I kind of have to keep being reminded that my sister is never going to share anything with me. She's such a closed over private person, and she dislikes me so much that she really just doesn't tell me anything about her children's lives. And here, I was her children's nanny. I was at her house 3 times a week, you know, or once a week, you know, depending on the age of the children. I was in those kids' lives, and, you know, I developed these great relationships with them. And now that they're teenagers, they're not the most communicative. And, well, my oldest is 20, thankfully, my oldest niece. And so I'm like, tell me about your kids. Like, I live in California. They're in Michigan. It's like, share your children with me. I love your children. Why can't you be more forthright? Tell me about their accomplishments, you know, boast about your, you know, motherly pride to me. And she just can't. Or won't. So I need to work on not having expectations and wishes when it comes to her. Just being polite and, you know, as calm as possible when in our presence. You know, my sister and I do well like 2 days, 3 days max, and then we start to drive each other fucking crazy, and then I get abused, and it's a whole fucking nightmare. because, I am the middle child and I had my medical disorders, and like the whole family treats me like I'm a mental degenerate and, a special needs person. And it's like I've spent half my life fighting that image and trying to be like, no, I'm just a free spirit. I'm just an open, loving person. Like, wait, why are these negative traits again? So, you're too sensitive. You're too defensive. I mean, I have journals spanning back decades where I am writing into them about how much I hate my sister because she was such a bitch to me. She has a really sharp wit, and she could just fucking cut me down, whether I was 12 or 24 or 36 or 42. I mean, it's like, it's always been this way. And then our dad died this past November. She was with him when he died. She was the one who told me that he passed away, and then I came home for Thanksgiving, and she told me that she really did love me, and, we had some talks, and so I really felt like, oh, okay, we're transitioning into a better place after all these years of sibling strife. And, I'm sure I drove her crazy as much as she drove me crazy. I'm not saying it's all her. But it's kind of like I'm always there, like Oliver Twist, waiting with a dish for my sister to say, yes, you may have some more. Yes, I'll be nice to you today. I mean, after Thanksgiving for my mom's, like around Valentine's Day, we all got together, my brother, my sister, the kids, everything, in my mom's Southern California home. And she was a bitch to me after only 4 hours of being together. And I looked at her and I was just like, I kind of get really flustered when someone's attacking me, and it takes me a little while, so I'm not quick on the draw. I really wish I was, that I could respond quickly and be like, okay, what's going on here? But all I kept thinking about is, like, how disappointed I was. Like, I thought we were transitioning, man. Like, weren't you on that bridge to a better relationship with me? I was there. I was ready. And I forgave her. She had gotten up at 4 a.m. She had a 5-hour flight. She was exhausted, yet she had to go grocery shopping as soon as she got there. I mean, and she had a glass of wine at some point or two. And it's like, oh, we must be exhausted. Oh, it's time to pick on me. Oh, okay. All I did was say that I liked Bernie Sanders. My brother-in-law looks at me and goes, but he's a socialist. And I said, right. Anyway, so I basically have been texting my niece, and like I said, I talked to her on the phone today. I'm like, it's on, we're going. It's happening, And I'm still not taking any kind of posture with it because we weren't able to plan it a couple months ago because she didn't know what she was going to do for her summer internship. Now she does, So it was just kind of always floating in the background. Hey, there's a possibility of going to Scotland and England with my niece this summer, And she's like, oh my gosh, I so want to go. And my sister and brother and my mother were like, I doubt she's going to be able to go. And I'm like, here's the trip. It's only this 1 week and 1 week in September. Like, this is the only time to do this trip. And it's nothing but castles and train and Scotland and history and stuff like that. It's going to be so much fun. And so thankful that we're able to do this. So anyway, with that, I think it's time to smoke again. Third bowl, and then I'm going to turn this off. This whip is so annoying. Oh, look, a dead fly. I mean, if the flies are smart enough, I'll open the window. I'll be like, okay, guy. And then sometimes I actually am able to rescue a fly, and it like goes zipping off, and it's like, yes, be free, return to the wildness where once you came. But so many times, like, I open the window and try and get the fly out, and they go the wrong direction, and they go up when they should have gone down, and it's just like, fuck, it's like, just hurry up and die, I mean, it's like, I don't want it to die. I'd like it to go on living outside for those hours that it has, but it's like, it's just the buzzing sound. It's really annoying. Sorry, I'm getting texts. I'm just wondering. I got a job at American Airlines. Oh, awesome! Sorry, excuse me. Let's plant this sucker. Put your fist in the air if you also loathe autospell. I loathe the autospell. And actually, my friend showed me how to turn it off one time, and then I was like mistyping so many words. It was like, okay, I'll deal with you. But I just don't like that whole predicting thing where it like tries to say, you're going to say this word. It's like, no, I want to actually say this word, like fame instead of game. Okay, done. Wow. Wow, this is burning hot. Yeah, it's a little too hot. You also have, I mean, again, no knob, but you also have to be, with a vaporizer, you have to set it at a certain heat level to where it steams the herb and doesn't burn the herb. And what happens is it's kind of like if you left broccoli in a steamer too long, or if you steamed it for a while and then left it in the heat to just kind of sit there, it would turn brown. So it's like I don't want the carcinogens. I want to avoid that if I can. You know, try and stay as healthy as possible. No mouth cancer, no throat cancer, no lung cancer. Oh, my lungs are pretty good. So, all right. Well, thanks for hanging out with me. I don't see myself. There I am. Thanks for hanging out with me. The few people who have. All right. Peace, love, and ganja from the Solitary Toker.